Hi guys, my name is JP Cooper and you are watching Toasted.
Mr. Cooper, welcome to Groningen.
Thank you for having me.
Did you ever go here before?
I don't think I have been here. This is new for me, so it's the first.
Did you get time to snoop around a little?
Not yet. We got off the plane, got on a train, got on a bus, went and did a show in a record store, and now we're here. So I think we've got a little bit of time this afternoon to have a wander around and see what's going on. The weather seems good. It's cold, but sun's shining, so
Things are going really, really well for you, right?
It's a really good day. I mean, today's particularly special because we just found out, September song looks like it's going to be top 10 definitely in the UK today. So that's a first for me as a solo artist. It's a really good start to 2017. Really, really good.
Why do you think suddenly it picks up? Because I mean, you've been making great music for years, so probably something happened that a lot of people realize that you actually are a great artist.
I think the collaboration that I did with Jonas Blue opened a lot of doors as far as radio and things like that go. So that was, very, very grateful for that.
And you almost didn't do it, I hear.
Yeah, it was, it's such a different, I think it's always a little bit of a nervous situation when you want to do something a little bit different. But in the name of freedom, initially, because we didn't know how the track was going to do. We knew that he'd had his success with Fast Car. And initially I was supposed to just be a writer on it, so he sent me the backing track. I wrote the melody and what became Perfect Strangers, but I wasn't expecting to be the singer on it. So I did the demo vocal and he said, we really want you to do this. So it wasn't a definite yes, like I had to take a little time, think about it. But yeah, I think in the name of freedom, we were like, let's just do it and see what happens. And I'm very grateful that I did. Yeah.
Over 330 million views on one video, and wow.
The numbers are,
staggering.
A lot to get my head around.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, really cool. Of course, you did way more than just these two songs. September Song is, of course, a fantastic hit as well. Over 40 million plays on Spotify, which is mind-blowing as well, I think.
Yeah, that's much bigger numbers than anything I've had, as a solo thing, and it's just an amazing start for me. We've kicked a lot of doors open now again with the radio with this one, so it's warming me into the album that's coming this year. Very, very, it's a very comfortable situation for me. The label are excited. There's a little bit of pressure, but it's good pressure. I'm just entering the year feeling really positive, quite relaxed. And my main resolution was to just enjoy myself. Don't worry too much about getting the job done. Like, the job will take care of itself. Like, actually remember where you are and what you're doing and enjoy this. So yeah, we'll be doing some of that tonight.
The song, September Song, what I loved is that you actually published the chords on social media, and what happened is that shitloads of people actually covered it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can remember, even before I signed the deal, and I'd do these little songs, and the internet's incredible. I can remember I was working in a bar one morning, and I woke up and I checked my Facebook or whatever it was at the time, and I had this link from somebody saying, "Oh, we've done a cover of one of your songs," and I clicked it, and it was the Pennsylvania State University had done a cappella choral version of one of my songs, and I was still just working in a bar, and so whenever you hear people covering your songs, it's like such a privilege. I cover songs of people that I love. I don't do many, so for someone to take the time to learn it, to get into the words, and to express that, it's a beautiful thing.
The Shawn Mendes cover you did is actually outstanding, I think. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a big fan of Shawn's, actually. Like, he kind of tipped his hat to me like maybe a year or so ago, and very, very impressed by his character. I actually got to meet him just before Christmas at a big show that we did in the UK. And he's just a lovely, level-headed young man, very humble. And Mercy is just one of my favourite pop songs of last year. I thought it was amazing. So yeah, it was real nice of him to retweet the cover that we did, and yeah, he's a good fellow. I'd like to get in a room with him and make some music at some point. It'd be good. Yeah.
Hey, you're working on an album. How far is it yet? I mean, did you write all the songs? Can you elaborate a little on it? Is there a working title?
There is a working title. I have a song called We Were Raised on the Grey Skies, and it's very autobiographical. So I think the record's going to be called Raised on the Grey Skies. I'm from Manchester in the north of England. That it's usually grey, so it's quite literal. But the album is it's pretty much done. The songs have been done. We've not mixed them yet, and we're still kind of deciding on which singles to go with next. Because it's funny, like everything is so. Things happen so quickly, things change so quickly that we're kind of just riding a wave with this September song thing, and we'll decide what to put out next. But the album, as far as I feel like creatively and as like a piece of work, the album is done. It's just a case of mixing it and putting it together and finding the best time to put that out. Between 12 and 14.
Hey, you have a Shepherd's Bush gig coming up, the 25th of May. That's amazing, man.
It's incredible. The journey. Sorry?
Are there still tickets, actually?
Yeah, not many, actually. It's definitely going to sell out, which is incredible. I mean, the journey, the live thing has been incredible. It's always been one step ahead of everything else up until now. Like, we feel like the radio thing's finally happened. But the live thing's always been amazing. I mean, just before Christmas, in October, we sold out, I can't even remember the name of the venue, Coco in London, which is about 1,200 capacity. So for someone who's not put a record out, that was a big deal. And now Shepherd's Bush Empire. I mean, I'm probably not really supposed to say this, but as you're not a UK thing, I think we're going to put a second day on. So it's a massive statement for an artist that hasn't released an album yet. And I'm just so grateful that the love is there. I mean, we've already done a hell of a lot of tickets for the first show, so I think it's going to make sense. It's going to be an amazing experience for us. Yeah, really.
You do a lot of stuff for your fans. I love that. I mean, you did secret gigs in London, somewhere in September. You give away Polaroids that you do backstage. Who comes up with these ideas? I think it's brilliant, man.
I think we have kind of like a bit of fun on the road, and it's nice to try and capture little bits. And somebody just gave me a Polaroid, and I was like, well, some of these pictures are really nice, and there's a few that I'll take home, but there's so many that are just like snapshots that, for me, it's, okay, whatever. It's easy to forget that other people really cherish this stuff, because for me, it's being in the studio or being backstage is very normal for me. But I forget that it isn't for everybody else. So it's really nice to just allow people to be a part of it, because they've really, from day one, they've really stuck with me. And for them to, I think for people to really get behind an artist, they have to trust their character and they have to feel like they're a part of that. So it's really important for me that there is a constant intimacy between me and that world. So.
Did you? Of course, you played with Stevie Wonder, which is that was a fantastic lineup as far as I could tell. Did you actually get to meet the man?
Sadly, not. I was really hoping. All I wanted to say was just thank you. That was just thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. But yeah, he had such an entourage around him that I mean, the closest I got to him was while he was sound checking. I was kind of stood at the side of the stage, But maybe there'll be another opportunity. We'll see.
Sweet. Hey, there was a picture on I think Facebook or maybe Instagram, I don't know, and there was a picture of an amazing studio, piano, open doors, and the caption said, "Why can't every studio be like this? Watching hummingbirds flying around whilst writing songs is just heaven." Where was that, man?
That was the studio of a gentleman called Toby Gadd in the Hills in LA. He's the guy that wrote All of You, John Legend. He wrote that with John Legend. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's so funny. I kind of turned up there, and he was like, "Listen, we'll come over. Let's do some writing together or whatever." And I turned up, and he's on a sun lounger in his garden drinking a smoothie. Like it's like, "Oh, I've been up surfing since 6 a.m. this morning, and it's another world, complete other world." Yeah, definitely. I mean, the most beautiful place that I've recorded is the place that I've been recording the album, which is in Finland, actually, in a little cabin in the woods, overlooking the Baltic Sea. I spent a lot of time out there. Last year, it was crazy how it ended up. I worked with a guy on a one-off studio session in London, and we just clicked. We listened to the same music, so I started going backwards and forwards, and most of the album's been recorded in Finland. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, but Finland is not an obvious choice, of course. It's so far away. I mean, fuck.
And I've never been there before. So really beautiful. I think the surroundings, literally, it was just a home studio. Not a very big room. You open up the door to the studio, and it's just woodland. So beautiful. Yeah.
So 12 songs on the new album, recorded in Finland. Is it all mixed yet? And who produced it actually?
So it's mainly been produced by a Finnish guy called Teemu Brunila, he was actually the lead singer of like quite a famous Finnish band called The Crash back in the 90s. They were like a Finnish answer to Britpop or something like. But he's a very creative. He's an artist. You know, it's nice to work with people who have been in the world that I'm in now. But very humble, and yeah, because we listen to so much of the same music, it's very easy to communicate what sounds I was hearing. So the process. There's a couple of other guys that I've worked with in the UK. I've done a little bit with a fella called 2 Inch Punch, who's worked on some of the Rag and Bowman records. Another guy called Fred Ball, who he wrote Love on the Brain for Rihanna. So I worked with him and 2 Inch Punch together on one track. But mainly Finland. Yeah, mainly Finland. Yeah.
You were working in a bar and being a musician, so it must have been like double shifts and not knowing if it would break through and not be sure if you would could actually make a living or even be popular.
No question. I mean, I spent, a hell of a lot of years just doing that, and I wasn't really, it was a case of it'll happen sometime as long as I was getting better. But then I became a dad. And that changes everything. I became a dad 2 years before I signed the deal. So there was 2 years of, not much sleep, still working in a bar, not really making that much money, and thinking, I'm supposed to be like a grown man now with a child. It's not just about me. So the decisions that you make change a lot. And I'd say the year before the deal was like one of the hardest years of my life, just because I was literally scraping together money to buy nappies, and just like, I don't know if this is a reasonable thing for me to be doing. And luckily, the deal came along, and since then, it's still a challenge, logistically, being a dad and going out and being here and being away. But it's something that I'm kind of at peace with. Like, I have an amazing relationship with my boy. And yeah, it's almost like when you go out, you have two hearts with you, and everything that I do now is so much more important that we get it right. I'm not here to mess around, So.
But the lesson is that you can actually live your dream and have children.
Yeah, it takes a lot of understanding from the people around you. But yeah, when I found out I was going to be a dad, I mean, my initial response was, I'm going to have to not stop doing music. I'll always be making music, but on this level. But I have an amazing management team. Again, they've been with me since way before the deal, and just a lot of support and love from my family and people around me saying, you can make this work, and it seems to be working.
Do you have any plans to go to the States as well?
I'm actually going there next week. So I'm flying out to LA for a couple of weeks, and then I think I'm nipping down to San Francisco. Well, I'm not playing this time because my visa hasn't arrived yet, which is, it's like 4 weeks away, which is a shame. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back in a few months to do maybe a show in New York, a show in LA, and maybe get up to Toronto as well, as we're near there, to just do a few little shows. I did a few shows a couple years back in America, so I did a couple in New York, a couple in LA, just very small things, and the response was amazing. There was people out there that knew me, which was incredible. So really looking forward to starting that journey and getting out and meeting people, and yeah, it'd be great.
One last thing, and this is, well, probably a stupid question, but you must have heard it millions of times. You do look a lot like the young Bob Marley, especially in pictures, A
few people have said it. It's so funny. I mean, I'm from a very white, very working class area in North Manchester, where people are very small-minded. I love where I'm from, but it's the horizons, not very broad, and you get so many people saying, "What ethnicity are you?" And it's I've had my hair like this since I was like 15, and it's just kind of stuck. But yeah, it's funny. My dad actually, when he was younger, there's a few pictures of him where his bone structure is exactly the same as Bob Marley. So there must be something in there. But yeah, I mean, Bob Marley, he's incredible. He was an incredible human being. So if I could be channeling anything of that, then I'm happy. I'm happy.
Thanks so much for your time, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.